Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations. In the last episode, we met up with Francisco von Karma, which is very unexpected, and also our good old pal Gumshoe. We talked to Miss Rhoda Tenera since she is our prime suspect at the moment, and sadly, she was arrested because she is pretty suspicious. But we're gonna try and prove that she's actually not the one who did it, because Edgeworth believes that she didn't do it, so, you know, we just have to go along with that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get going. March 12th, 2:52 p.m., lower deck, cargo hold. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. So is this the real scene of the murder? There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir! Alright. Hello, officer. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir, I haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary here, sir. Wait, a file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. It looks like a profile on Francisca. Why would Mr. Hicks have had a file on her? Francisca, look at this. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth! It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase affair! These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this fight is over. This paint shop is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy! Oh? Why not purchase one then? I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200? I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenera wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. It definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments? Strange. We have bed sheets. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be taxing on the cargo crew. This sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Shut the fuck up, Gumshoe. I don't care. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one it says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism. What the fuck? Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. You should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special key card. Both the door and the attendance room and the elevator control panels require a key card, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Francisca? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Oh. Interpol was involved? It's a top-secret operation, so I clearly can't tell you any more than I already have. Wait, that might give us the logic. What is it? Interpol? Oh, oh. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Francisca? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Francisca said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francisca has some explaining to do. But first... logic! I think we could safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses! Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Francisca! You have some explaining to do. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks, isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got it to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Ow! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see. But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then... the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and... they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up... the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Nice. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. Why? If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you say? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. Do we have evidence about suitcase receipt? Damn it. But it's highly likely that the key card was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? Yes, well, I don't have any evidence. Be quiet. You're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Teniro, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, Mr. iFly Piggy Bank? Yes, she's also the only person with a key to open that display case. But that is a Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as a murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? Fuck. The body? Francisca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes. We don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Agent Hicks' head is consistent with the murder weapon? Scruffy! Yes, sir! Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks' autopsy. Yes, sir! Well, we got a big problem, Mr. Edgewood, sir. What is it, Detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know this one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area? Well, I'd say that it's a sign that the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Shit. Okay. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, my opinion. Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, Detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Ow! So I told you already, you can't go down there. What is all that racket? Is it LeBlanc? Fuck you, LeBlanc. My luggage, my cargo, they're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave— Hey, what are you— You have left no choice but to use strong force. Ah! You won't get past me. Ho! This is— Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderer's bank. After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. The doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Bro, LeBlanc is gonna die. Bros, this is no time to be... This is no time to be doing logic. This is literally... LeBlanc is gonna die, dude. Oh, shit. Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Shit. Sorry, guys. I didn't save that time. I thought I was right. Whatever. What? No, it's not that, then. Dumb. Alright. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there was such intensive bruising over a wide Whatever. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration.
What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here?
Francisca!
What? What do you want?
I found it, Francisca. I found the real murder weapon. It's the thing that killed Mr. LeBlanc. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time.
He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs.
There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. This is coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence.
You two aren't listening at all, are you?
Come on then, show me this real murder weapon you speak of.
I don't have any evidence to show.
I don't know, bro. I don't have any evidence to show you.
Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean I don't have any evidence to show?
Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hick's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I have figured out what was the real cause of death. Free fall, I think. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground.
He fell to his death?
Yes. This is the only possible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death.
But the murder happened inside this plane.
I know.
Are you claiming that there is someplace in this plane from which he could have fallen from it? Did you not just see Mr. LeBlanc? You can't mean...
Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs with his very cargo hold.
What? Then we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Let's go get Mr. LeBlanc. Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal.
Quiet. Why are you screaming?
He's alive!
And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hex fell over to the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances.
The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean?
Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then?
He would have been a Burgundian pancake for sure, sir.
I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing.
But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios.
It may be there now, but there's no proof that it was always there.
Ha! As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there.
Ah, but there was.
What?
What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now? What, did they say that... When did they say that it would stop? Yes, this one.
You refueled in the Republic of Zhengfa?
Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhengfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question.
Ah, it's labeled Zhengfa Express!
Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhengfa. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time?
It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe to Zhengfa leg of the flight,
making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible.
But your theory is still very far-fetched.
Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Aha! More investigation, let's go. Francisca, get out of my way. This is a rather large piece of cargo.
There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red statue? Never heard of it.
Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove that it wasn't here at the scene of the crime.
Then let's get investigating, sir.
Oh, no.
Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Hey, don't rush up on me like that, pal.
So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Oh no, not you again. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc?
Of course it's mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Aleph Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more.
Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold.
10 million cents?
I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective.
Darn, how'd you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year.
Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression that he continues to madly spin in place.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars?
Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer?
It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there would be no touching.
Could that be what the... yeah. Perhaps. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Jingfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. LeBlanc? About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake.
What? How dare you say my art is a fake?
I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring.
Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have my certification of my cargo right here.
Do you mean the cargo certification document?
Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says plain as day. The cargo was put into the plane in Europe.
And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate.
No, that's...
Which means that there was never a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. Shit. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself.
Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see how I am right.
I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the
Aleph Red? It gives us such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at the museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it.
I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Aleph Red statue.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something?
There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. I know where this... Yes. Okay, that's what's wrong with it. We know what's wrong with it now. What's up with this? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think?
Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir.
I don't think you see what I'm talking about.
No, I do. But it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I fell ill.
I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo?
Huh? Ah! Sir, they're red!
As I thought, this statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc.
What do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer.
The Aleph Red. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago.
Better grab a chair, sir.
Sounds like this is gonna be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but...
What is that?
Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow over there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo.
Why the sudden yelling? Now then,
whoa.
It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe.
Ah! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake.
A fake!
I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that it was brought on board in Zhengfa, and I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. I don't know. Fuck, no, not deduce. God damn it. Oh my god. What's this?
The statue looks like it's stepping all over the neighbor's cloth cover. It kind of resembles its own attitude in a sense.
What did you say now? Further, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinate.
Why should I forgive the trespasses? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it.
How do we deduce that? Well, no, but... There was clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's not possible! But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhengfa, there is no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe, which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There was only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however you have it backwards, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport, it would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge, which means there was someone involved who was forging or modifying cargo certificates. Oh, thank God, okay.
I guess the victim knew he was the real version of this was gonna get damned, huh?
Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold, a rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer, move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath, now! Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the olive red statue out of the way, we testified the area under it with luminol and there was a reaction. I I see. There was a reaction to the luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot.
Ugh. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs?
It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose they would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all the blood? Oh. The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Jingfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover.
So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Jingfa?
There is no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Jingfa, then this becomes highly suspect. I think it's Meals. Recall Miss Meals' testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Jingfa.
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but...
That totally contradicts the facts, sir!
But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. Oh, okay. Miss Meal. Alright. Well, that is it for this episode. I guess next episode we are going to finish it off by cross-examining Miss Meal. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!